Hello everyone and welcome back at last to another Fiero video. If you watched my latest video, I said we would have a Fiero update video, and now here it is. Now, what are we doing on the Fiero today? Well, if you come over here to take a close look at my taillights, you'll notice a bit of damage we have. Now, this was a casualty. I don't know if you remember from my previous Fiero update where the clutch line blew out, and well, obviously without the clutch line you can't move the car, so we had to push this onto a trailer. And during pushing it, well, there's nowhere else to put your hands, and so while we were pushing it up, these are rather fragile and we cracked it pushing it up the trailer. So I was looking for new parts because obviously now I have a hole in my taillights. The problem is these are impossible to find. The majority of Fieros are the notchbacks, which means you have the smaller lights on here that don't actually say Pontiac. The GTs are a little rarer, and these parts are pretty much impossible to find. They're famous for becoming brittle like this and cracking. So what I did, instead of getting other, Fiero parts, I actually contacted Belly Acre Studios, and they make these, like custom make them for the Fiero. They're remanufactured, and they're supposed to be better, stronger, and clearer than the original ones. So they have finally come in. I've got the new lights here. So as you can see, now there are a few differences. For one, these are not tinted at all. The ones on my car are actually a little tinted, but it still will look good, and they'll just be extra clear. You can see PON, and then of course you have the other EAC in the box. But let's get right into this. Now these are actually pretty simple to swap out. Actually, before I do that, I have a philosophical question for you all. Is this panel, is this the trunk or the hood? Okay, because the hood covers the engine and the trunk covers, the trunk. I have the engine and the trunk covered by the same compartment. So what do I call this piece? Truly, I don't know. Debate about it in the comics. Anyway, now these panels come right out. All we need is the local mechanic's famous best tool in the world. Pop these right out, and you got the screws right under them, like this. Get your screwdriver. These come out like so. I've done this a few times because this is the only way to also change the light bulbs within. If you don't know, the Pontiac on the back of these cars actually lights up, which is pretty cool. You can only really see it at night, but oddly, the Pontiac always lights up when the car is on. So even if you don't have the lights on, the Pontiac is lit up, and you can't tell in the daylight most of the time. Take these very long screws out, and then this whole piece just kind of slides out from here. Now, something awesome about the Fiero, honestly, changing lights it's so easy on these. These are your Pontiac lights here, and they just pop out like that. You twist, pop them out. And a fun fact about these lights, you can pop them out just like this. These are the same lights that you use in all of the interior, or nearly all of the interior. All of the gauges use these same lights, and they go in the back here too, so that's pretty cool. Now for these, you have a bit of a clasp here. You just push these in and twist them. They come right out. Same for all of these. These are my tail lights and reverse lights and turn signal lights and all that fun stuff. And then your whole piece is out. So now this is kind of the difficult part, is you have these clasps here that hold it on, and these become brittle and kind of break off. Like this one's broken off. I didn't do that. It was like that when I got it. And you just kind of got to peel them off like that. Same on this side. That one's about to break. Gotta be careful. And the whole assembly kind of comes apart. This is 30-year-old GM plastic here. So that's where all the bulbs go in. Then you have these inserts here. So this red piece sits over the Pontiac lights, so it glows red at night, which is cool. Then of course this is for the tail lights, turn signals, and reverse lights. I'll go in here, which is pretty neat. I mean, they didn't just put lines through it, they're actually at an angle. It's not just a single component, which I think is pretty cool. But this is my old one. This one's actually not too damaged. There's some scraping here and there, and it's got a bit of scuffs in it. But I'm actually going to keep these and display them or something, because original parts, it's pretty cool. But as you can see, there's ever so slightly a tint on the bottom one. You can't actually really even tell. They're pretty much identical, except this one is obviously brand new and in much better shape. So then it's literally just the same process, but in reverse. We put in our neat little taillight covers there. This is why 80s cars are so great. This is so simple. Slide this back in. Now, they do actually provide new lining if you need it, kind of weather stripping that goes around here. Mine's still in decent shape, and I'm going to be honest, I don't feel like tearing all of this out like little by little. So I'm going to leave this in here, but you might want to replace it on your own car depending on the quality. So with this, all my inserts are back in place. We just reattach it here. Squeeze all the clips that remain back into place. There we go. Now, with those clasps all together, you continue doing the same thing in reverse. So, reattach all my bulbs here. Let's hope that I put them back in the correct order. Thankfully, though, again, Pontiac was smart and they made sure that the ones only fit where they're supposed to go. So my turn signals don't light up when my brake lights are supposed to be on. And you just slot them in. There we go. There we go. All those back in, and we just slot her in like that. And you put your screws back in. I'm just going to turn the lights on real quick, make sure I put everything in correctly. So the taillights are in fact on, so that's good. My turn signals are in fact blinking. Are the reverse lights on? Yep. Nice. All right, so there you have it, our first half on. See, it's a bit clearer. Yeah, so now we just do the same thing with the other side. Alright, so there we have brand new lights all installed, and I have to say they look pretty good. Nice and clear, shiny lights. Excellent. Close it up, get the full effect here. Check that out. So here you can see the original lights that I had to replace. See right here, cracked right in, and over here too. So these have been, 30 years old, and apparently these are famous for becoming brittle and cracking and everything. And I'm going to keep these. As I already said, these are original parts, so they'll be displayed somewhere. I mean, that's pretty cool. I just have to say that Pontiac did a good job with these. It's crazy on the notchback, it doesn't actually say Pontiac on the back. I love that the Fastback says that. And not only does it say it, it freaking lights up, which is so cool. So now I make sure to advertise for Pontiac, everywhere I go. Make sure you buy a brand new Pontiac. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, everyone. If you have a GT and you have to replace your lights, well, hopefully you know how to now. So thank you for everyone for watching, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.